Thank you, everyone. So I'm Scarlett, and along with Nikki Gammons, my manager here, we've had the pleasure of developing Buzzing in the East End over the past year. Just taking that kind of dog. And we have been making a buzz across 11 boroughs in North East and South East London. So we've got 7 above the river and 4 below. And the core aims of this project was to go out and see if we could find some more records of rare bumblebees across London. So we wanted to better understand their distribution and abundance. And we've been targeting areas where we know there's records and then also where we think they might turn up. And when we found those rare bumblebees, we've been assessing their habitat and offering initial advice and support to local landowners so that they can create that habitat and make it better for their bumblebees. We're also doing a lot of community engagement, so working with underrepresented groups, charities, local landowners, communities and councils to raise awareness of bumblebee conservation and get people engaged. And we also wanted to establish the threats that our bumblebees face here in East London. Another core part of this is we are in our development phase, so we've been going around and collecting data, not just those records, but also speaking to local people to see what interventions they want in their local borough, in their local area, surveying residents, community, religious groups, recorders, young people, particularly focused on climate anxiety, to sort of understand and collect this data to support our application. So, a bit of context for why we're delivering this project. As you all know, bumblebees are essential pollinators. Their fluffy coats don't just make them cute, they also help them transfer that pollen between the flowers. They also do that fantastic buzz pollination that other pollinators here in the UK are not doing, that helps certain plants like tomatoes, kiwis, cranberries set fruit, set seed. And they're fantastic little creatures, we absolutely love them. But they are under threat, so 2 species have gone extinct in the last century. That's the short-haired bumblebee there and the colourless bumblebee. And then of the 24 left, 7 are rare, they're conservation priority species. So we wanted to go around London and see which one of those are present here. And these were our candidates that we were looking for. So we have records of shrill and brown-banded. We also have historic records of the red-shanked harderbee and the ruderer bumblebee that are still found in Kent. So we were hoping we could go out and survey and see if we could find those and if they turn up. And there's also unverified records of the moscardabee. And brown-banded moscarda can be very difficult to separate, can come down to a few black hairs. So we really wanted to go and see if we could actually verify those records and see if the bumblebee is present. Who have we found this year? We found the shrill carder. So this is one of the UK's rarest bumblebees. It gets its name, the shrill, from its lovely higher-pitched, more shrill buzz. It's one of the rarest bumblebees. So it's just in 5 populations across South England and South Wales. And London's actually a stronghold for it. It's remaining quite stable here. It's had a really good year this year in this population. So we definitely want to continue that. It's keep it going steady. I guess it still needs a lot of habitat interventions. It needs a lot of support. It's struggling around the rest of the country. So we really want to protect this bumblebee here. We're very happy that it's here though. Ooh. And the other species that we found is this beautiful brown-banded cardabee. We've actually found it coming up in lots of different places across London, which is really promising. And it seems to respond really well to habitat creation in urban environments. So it's really becoming a symbol of hope for our bumblebee conservation in London. So it's a really, really lovely species. So when we're going out and doing the recording of the bumblebees, we were organising our bumblebee blitzes, so we were getting lots of volunteers together, and we were going out into an area, finding out and recording every single bumblebee that we could find, and what species of plants they're feeding from. And with different blitzes across the boroughs, we were able to survey over 1,000 hectares in East and South East London. And one of our notable finds was the brown-banded carder turning up in Lewisham, which to our knowledge is the first time that species has been recorded in that borough. So we were very excited, and I think it kind of showcases the importance of getting more people out and actually surveying and looking for these species, and they can show up in places where we haven't found them before. So we really wanted to get more surveys and more data. We also wanted to establish more bee walks, so to have people, have our volunteers going out and doing these transects. And we wanted to set up 5 new transects because we had so many fantastic people come forward. We've managed to help set up 10 this year. And this is one of our dedicated bee walkers, Jerry. He's been doing a bee walk for us in Raynham, where we do get the shrill. And he was, lucky enough to record 15 shrill in just one bee walk, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's kind of a stark contrast to our other projects. In Somerset, we have Saving the Shrills, and they've only managed to record 25 individuals this whole year. So it is still a species that we definitely want to be prioritised for conservation here in London. And we wanted to give these skills to other people. So we've been leading Bumblebee ID training workshops across London with different groups. We've done 19 different workshops, mostly beginners, and then some people following through to do the intermediate Bumblebee ID as well, and they've been attended by over 250 people. So we're hoping now that's quite a few new people that feel more confident going out and getting those records of bumblebees on iRecord or taking up some of the bee walks. So our bee walk survey that we're hoping to get more walkers of is similar to the butterfly conservation transect. So it's a monthly transect that you walk 1 to 2 kilometres in length. You get to choose, but you go out. It has to be on a sunny day, which is lovely. You go and count and identify the bumblebees you see, whether they're queen, worker, male, and what flower they're foraging on. This generates a lot of fantastic data for us at the Trust that we use to plan our interventions. We've just passed our 1 million mark of records submitted, so we've generated 1 million bumblebee records through the Bee Walk, which is very exciting. And it's our national scheme for recording not just distribution and understanding their range, but the abundance there, which can really give us those early warning signs of losses, so you can detect those population declines over time. And this is one species that's one of our most common bumblebees, the red-tailed bumblebee. And through our data this year, we've been able to see, so this summer, most of you probably noticed, hasn't been great for a lot of our insects. It's been the worst on record for our bumblebees. And the red-tailed bumblebee is normally a species that we see everywhere, very widely distributed, but this year it's down 72% in its records. So we can see that data, and we can plan those habitat interventions to help boost it and prioritise conservation in that way. So our records really inform our habitat creation. So we've been working, when we found those red bumblebees, with local landowners to advise them making that habitat a bit more friendly for their bumblebees. And we offer things on how to extend the floral seasonal length, so a lot of forage for early emerging bumblebees when they come out in spring, and wait late into the autumn, when they're fastening up to go into hibernation. And we can give specific recommendations tailored to the site on species of flowers that would increase the diversity. So we've done over 20 site visits to hospitals, parks, churchyards, allotments, industrial sites, nature reserves, to give this habitat recommendations. And we can leave sites with habitat management plans so they feel more confident managing those into the future. We will be doing a little bit of habitat creation this autumn, so we're going to be doing some bulb planting next week at Bethlehem Hospital, which we're very excited is going to be a flagship site for the project moving forward in the years. So we're working with different units there, and it's a really nice way to demonstrate how the planting can benefit both our pollinators and the people. So having a lot of therapeutic sensory gardens with bumblebee-friendly flowers. And also the Ridgeway, which is another site that we're hoping will be a flagship. They've created some meadows previously last year, but some of the areas are still a little bit dominated by grasses, so we're just going to get some yellow rattle in there and knock those grasses back and increase that diversity. So we're doing a little bit of habitat creation, but that's going to form a much bigger part of the delivery phase. And I just wanted to share conservation success stories. So through going out and getting these records, you can evidence that it does work. So if you build it, they will come. And you know, on the Ridgeway where we had those wildflower meadows created, went around and surveyed them this year and found the brown-banded carder, among other species. But it's fantastic that that rare species is responding so well to those habitat changes. And similar story in Beckton Meadows, that was created by Newham Council and Butterfly Conservation. We were recording the brown-banded on those newly created meadows as well. So it's really positive and really kind of inspiring to get more work done across London. So the other big part of the project is engaging with different communities, and so it's raising awareness. And this year we've done 38 events to over 900 people, and getting them out and appreciating our bumblebees and other pollinators a bit more, getting out in nature. We've been building partnerships with different organisations, lots of different organisations, some of you in the room here. But for example, SLAM NHS Mental Health Recovery College. We were doing some events with them, getting people out to connect with nature to boost their well-being, and we would like to carry that forward as a theme when we're doing the delivery, and we're going to have some well-being events, excuse the pun, but we're going to have some guided meditation and things like this, and getting people out on these nature walks. We've also been partnering with different organisations such as Sustainably Muslim to reach new audiences that are underrepresented in conservation sector. And we managed to host, this was at the beginning of the month, our lovely Bumblebee extravaganza, South Asian celebration of the birthplace of bumblebees, and it was a kind of a big thank you for this first year and sort of case study event. And it was really lovely. We had our World of Bumblebees displays, these beautiful hand illustrated bumblebees by one of our volunteers. We had the rangoli making with the petals from bumblebee pollinated flowers and the seeds. We had poetry reading, guided meditation, traditional Asian dancing. So of course, we had to have the traditional food with lots of curries with the bumblebee pollinated ingredients. So it was a really fantastic event, and we're really looking forward to delivering more events like this across East London. And the other thing was we wanted to do was establish the threats, the main threats to bumblebees in East London that we could assess, and that also that the local residents felt were the priorities. And habitat loss, unsurprisingly, comes through as a leading threat, as well as the threat of urban development, climate change, and especially here in London, the competition from honeybee hives. Suddenly introducing a hive into an area that can have up to 80,000 bees in that one hive creates a lot of competition for foragers with other pollinators. And in London, the densities can be as high as 50 colonies per kilometre squared. And when you think about each one of those colonies should have between 1 to 2 football fields of forage to support them, that competition there. So we're just kind of working with London Beekeepers Association and other key groups to kind of address this and raise more awareness around this issue, especially in London. So we've been hosting community consultations. So over 100 people have completed our surveys with recorders, residents, community, religious groups, young people, feeding into the development of B.E.E, letting us know what they want to see in their local areas. Who we should be working with, where our priorities should be, and specifically what habitat interventions they would like. And we've been also hosting community consultations with different flagship sites and key partner organisations. So we've got a lot of data, which is fantastic, to support our, not only creating this plan, to support our funding as well. And we're still collecting that data. So if you live in one of our 11 boroughs and you want to let us know what you want to see and what you think the priorities are, please do reach out to us. So I'm going to quickly share our future plans for buzzing in the East End. So we're applying for funding from lottery, and after initial consultation, we're going to split the project into 2 phases. And so phase 1 we're going to prioritise South East London. It is less recorded, it's had less habitat interventions, so we want to go and work in those 4 boroughs in the first instance. We're going to have a 4-year project there with a project officer, hopefully some trainees, short traineeships. And we're really excited to kind of work with these connections that we've been building. So we're going to have 8 flagship sites across those 4 boroughs, 19 different community hubs creating habitat and having that management advice. We'll be taking forward those wellbeing events, different workshops to bring new audiences in, as well as, of course, our Bumblebee ID training and getting more bee walkers, getting more records as that kind of core element running through. So we will then, the subsequent year, apply for phase 2 to do the same in the East London and the east part of the boroughs. So we're really excited about developing this project, and the aims will stay the same. We're just going to do in these 2 phases. I just wanted to quickly flag our upcoming events. So if you are interested in learning more about Bumblebee ID, we've got some winter webinars, so you can still keep learning through the winter with biological recording companies. So if you wanted, Nikki will be teaching about the 8 most common bumblebees in December. You can get your tickets. And then part 2 will be the more rare species, part 3 could be bumblebees. So we've got those events coming up if you want to kind of stay involved. And then, any questions?
We've got time for 1 question.
I'm just going to pop those up so you can send questions.
With regards to which the 4 boroughs are that you just mentioned?
Yes, so the 4 boroughs in South London that we'll do phase 1 is Greenwich, Lewisham, Bexley and Bromley.
No, not Surrey.
No. And then phase 2 will be the East London boroughs. But yes, please do reach out to me and Nikki. If you want to be involved, you know anyone that does want to be involved, you can sign up to our monthly newsletter or follow us on social media.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.